Hey Bob and gentlemen, here's the instructions for how to edit um, this rotating area where the supporters are, and we can fix this one spot where that picture is broken. So in the back end, in the control panel, this is something called under modules. So I'm going to go to Module Manager. Some rules about modules, I might have started to say something to you about them, but I didn't give you a lot just because it's a little bit more of an advanced topic. Modules are wildcards is my most common adjective to describe them, in that there are rules for some but not for all. And in particular, modules are used to place content in a different area other than just the main body of a page. So the home page is actually made up of multiple modules. This first column is a set of modules. A module is what puts this video article in this spot. The middle column is its own set of modules, own module, and then there's another module at the bottom that's particular to Pope Francis's intentions. And so in this far right column, we've got coming this one column. These first two articles would be one module. Please support our advertisers is a module, and latest newsletter is a module. But obviously there's a lot of articles within those modules, and that's the content I was showing you how to update and edit these last 2 weeks. On that birthdays page, which I was showing you also, the way that I got that column to show up of the different months is by a module. So it lists each article as a module. So I'll make an adjustment there that lets those all show up on the same page. Obviously I've got a couple of edits to do, but instead of just having a flow of an article down the middle, whoops, not a good example. Like this membership page is one full article. Modules is what's helping me put things on the right-hand column. And then of course at the bottom of this page we have this vocations, or this board albumizer. So the biggest one I want to show you today is that the advertisers, I think I went into this briefly, is going to be, it's right here called Please Support Our Advertisers. It's a features rock sprocket module. So again, just because I give you some rules about this type of module doesn't mean it applies to all modules. This content is created within the module itself. And so if I want to add a new one, I'd click Add New Item here. We can set it up to where it pulls from articles, but since advertisers are probably not going to be too common, I think articles will just give it a little bit more cumbersome of a step. If I don't want the new one, I click the X and then click Continue to actually delete it. So if I hover my mouse over what these images are, Painted Hills, that looks like that was the one that you deleted, Bob, and that you told me about in your email. So to get that image back, I know I have it saved on my computer. I clicked on this pencil icon to the far right of this area, and that takes me to the folder of images in the image manager. I'm going to click on ads because I know that's where those are located. If I browse, I'm going to go get this from my desktop. So bear with me a second. So I went and grabbed the Painted Hills logo. I'm going to leave that in here because I think you wanted to keep the picture itself as part of the site. I'm going to click it and choose Insert. But to remove Painted Hills, I would actually want to, from that rotating area, I want to actually click this X here and click again to continue. And now when I save and close and go back and look at the home page, I'll give it a second to rotate through, but that ads area is now no longer has that narrow fade from the left that where Painted Hills was before, where the picture was missing. Okay, so the next task I want to do is maybe I want to take, if I were to put that board album in something like this versus the albumizer that I showed you last week, here's what the process would be. First, I'd go to the control panel and click on Image Manager. We made a folder called Events, so maybe that might be a consistent one to use. I'm going to make a new folder that's called Board. I'm going to create it. When creating folders, if that's something you find yourself doing commonly, be sure to use lowercase letters and do not put any spaces in the file folder names. Use dashes for spaces. And then I have the 10 pictures from the old site. I'm going to just click and drag them here. If I want to show the queue to see they're uploading, that shows me right there, the 10 pictures that uploaded. Excuse me. At first, they're not going to, they're going to just look like thumbnails like this. That just means because it hasn't refreshed their load. I did a Control F5 to refresh that to see. Remember that getting someone in trouble. And then I want to go back to the control panel and click on Module Manager. Here, my suggestion would be to maybe take that advertisers module, or I'm going to have another one created for you, such as board, right here. And I'm going to suggest that you duplicate the module. That's probably the easiest way to create new things, is to duplicate something that already exists like what you want to create. I'm still going to use this original one because I know that we have not yet completed this process. Well, actually, it looks like they're all in here. Maybe Patrick was able to. But there are those images. For us to use. I'm going to go ahead and remove simple item 11 because we don't have a picture for that one. What I want to take note of here is this short code over here on the right hand side. It's module-111. So it just means there's 111 modules somewhere created within this site. I want to copy that. So I right clicked and chose copied. It's okay that my title hides. It's published, there's no position, and actually there's no pages that this module is assigned to. I'm going to click Save and Close, and then I actually want to go find my board article. So this is called Induction of New Board 2018. In the article manager, I'm just going to type in the word board and search for that article. I think that this last one might be where that albumizer is located. Sorry, that's first in the article. Yep, there's albumizer. So if I were to put in that module, I just would be pasting in the brackets with the module number inside of it. I'm going to go ahead and center that also. I'm going to save because I want to keep this open in case I want to make any additional changes to it. And on this board page, I'm going to refresh. And then here's a different view of that same album. Note that it is putting the title on those pictures. So if you were to want to use captions, that would be one way to do that. Since this one picture is not resized to be the same, that's what made, obviously, simple item number 2 is so much taller. So one task, if this is the method you use for adding albums, is that your pictures do have to be the right size before posting. I'm going to save and close this, and I'm going to go back to that module. It's the features board published module. And over here on the right hand side, I'm going to change a couple of settings so that there's no links and there's no title. So if you wanted to add text, I'm going to put it under description, custom, next to one of these items. Here's what a caption might look like. I'm going to click save. I'm going to refresh, of course, and there's my smaller text. That might be something that you want to use. An advantage here is that it's filling the space more than the Albumizer is. You still have some pagination where you can page over to the next picture via arrows or via these circles at the bottom of the slideshow. I would recommend maybe watching this video a couple of times to see if it's something that you want to use moving forward. If it's not, that's okay. The Albumizer really is a pretty easy tool to use, but it's really up to your discretion and if you're willing to resize those photos respectively moving forward. The only other challenge with that is if you have a combination of landscape and portrait images, they're going to have to need some padding either above or below, or top and bottom or right and left sides to fit that size. Otherwise, you could attempt to have all landscape pictures in one album or all portrait images in one album. Again, Albumizer overcomes that and solves that problem. Hopefully this was helpful. You guys are great. Keep up the good work.